What's up guys, and welcome to maybe the most highly requested video I've ever had on the channel. And just before we get straight into the battery test, as promised, I'll be giving one iPhone 10 away. So this is the Space Gray model, 64GB, and also including a gigantic accessory pack with everything from a fast charger to a wireless charger to every case or screen protector you'd ever need. The giveaway is free, it's international, and you can enter by following me on my social media accounts and liking a comment down below. All rules are in the description. Right, let's get this battery test on the road. So we're going to try and make this as realistic a usage case scenario as possible, doing things like social media, camera, Google Maps, and so on and so forth. We're going to start with Instagram, one of the most popular social media applications, booted up on all of the smartphones. So you can see on the far left we've got the brand new iPhone 10, followed by the 8 Plus, the OnePlus 5, and the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. Interestingly, after 20 minutes of testing, the iPhone 10 is still apparently on 100% battery. There's either some crazy optimization, or it's Apple software being really funny again. Notice though, the Galaxy Note 8 is now being set to its Quad HD Plus resolution. Because the iPhone 10 is set quite a bit above 1080p, it seems only fair to put the Galaxy Note 8 at its maximum resolution too. So therefore the iPhone 8 Plus and OnePlus 5 do have somewhat of a small advantage just because they're running at a low resolution of 1080p. All of these phones have Wi-Fi on, Bluetooth on, and everything else off. They've got True Tone displays off on the two iPhones, and try to equalize the brightness as much as possible. Now you'll notice that for the next reading, the iPhone 10 is still quite a bit ahead of OnePlus 5 and the rest of the devices, but its lead is shrinking. So all we've done so far is Instagram and YouTube videos, so we're going to up the ante a little bit. We're going to pull up Shadowmatic, which is a physics-based puzzle game, and that's really going to push these phones a little bit more, using everything from the displays to GPU to CPU to mix accelerometers. Something which is quite interesting here is that even though the iPhone 10 is well ahead of the iPhone 8 Plus, its battery capacity doesn't necessarily indicate that it should be. It's got a very similar capacity, but a larger and higher resolution screen to push. So that's kind of an unexpected result. We just need to wait and see if that trend continues. Sure enough, it's not long before the OnePlus 5 takes the lead. iPhones, traditionally, if you watch a lot of my battery tests, seem to fall a little bit slower in terms of percentage to begin with, but then almost accelerate downwards. So let's see if that happens with the iPhone 10, but at least the indicators so far are suggesting it will. So now for another game, we're loading up Super Mario Run, at least the hometown of it, and we'll leave that for a period of time. This, as you almost definitely know, is one of the most popular games on both Android and iOS, so it's a pretty relevant example. After just 15 minutes, that's taken a pretty significant chunk of battery out of, first of all, the iPhone 8 Plus, and also the Galaxy Note 8. The OnePlus 5 is more ahead than ever. Let's put it back up for another 15 and see if that makes a difference. As we're approaching the 2-hour mark, the iPhone 8 Plus is 12 percentage points behind the iPhone 10. That's a gigantic difference given this much time. So now we're going to really kick this thing up a notch. We're going to accelerate this test by opening up the Antutu benchmark. So for the next hour or so, we're going to simulate ultra-heavy usage by seeing what Antutu benchmark does to your battery. The short answer, quite a lot. What's also interesting to notice here is that actually consistently, the iPhone 10 seems to be scoring quite a lot lower than the iPhone 8 Plus. Now that's more than likely going to be a software optimization thing, but it could also be just that high resolution display requiring more power to push, and therefore the iPhone 10 performing less well, because spec-wise those two phones are more or less identical. As we're nearing the end of this Antutu section, you can start to see almost two bands forming. The iPhone 10 and OnePlus 5 are kind of closely tied towards the top, and the iPhone 8 Plus and the Galaxy Note 8 are quite closely tied at the bottom. Now we're opening up the camera app. We're not necessarily recording anything yet, we're just going to see how much the constant search for a focal point is going to drain the juices. And the answer is, for the most part, not very much, except for on the iPhone 8 Plus, which within 10 minutes just having the camera app open loses a whole 6%, which is quite concerning and perhaps indicates it is accelerating downwards. And after that we're doing the same thing again, but all of these phones are going to record some video at 4K 30. And before we take the next reading, we're going to jump straight into a session of Google Maps. Now location is off on all the phones, and there's no route guidance or anything going on here, so it's quite a low-level task, but it is something that people are going to use regularly. After the next reading, it's almost as if the iPhone 10 is making a bit of a comeback. The gap between that and the OnePlus 5, instead of getting larger as you'd expect it to, just got smaller. And after another 20 minutes, the gap is still sitting at 4 percentage points between the two. That's not really a lot of difference. But now we're bringing out the big guns. Until at least the first phone fails, we're putting up Geekbench 4. I'm letting it play through a CPU benchmark on each of the phones, and after it keeps finishing, I'll just keep restarting it. So let's see how that works. Now the iPhone 8 Plus starts to lose its battery very, very quickly. In fact, within about 25 minutes, it's gone from 15% to 0. And that makes it the first phone to buckle. The Note 8 though, bear in mind, is not very far behind with just 5% left, so let's see how much longer that one holds in. Even though the Note 8 is almost definitely going out next, it does have to be somewhat commended because it has just beaten a phone which has a far smaller, far lower resolution screen. And barely 10 minutes after the iPhone 8 Plus is gone, the Note 8 goes too. So it's sitting fairly comfortably in third place. To finish off the two remaining devices, we're once again jumping ship to Antutu, and we're going to skip more or less straight into the results. But just before we do that, if you haven't already entered the giveaway, be sure to do that now, that's all in the description below. And with that being said, let's get right into it. With a time of 4 hours and 26 minutes, the iPhone 8 Plus was in last place, which is almost a consistent trend, unless you have the smaller iPhones in there too. 9 minutes later, at 4 hours and 35, the Note 8 falls too. A fairly respectable, but at the same time, not fantastic performance. Lasting all the way up to 5 hours 2 minutes, the iPhone 10 really surprised me, in a good way. However, towards the end, I did notice the iPhone 10 battery slipping far quicker than the OnePlus 5, and that made the OnePlus 5 the ultimate champion with 5 hours and 15. A fair bit ahead of the rest of the competition. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm the Boss. I'll catch you in the next one. What's up guys, and just before we get straight into the video, we are running an iPhone 10 giveaway with an iPhone 10 Space Gray and a gigantic package of iPhone 10 accessories. All the rules are in the description. Now today we are doing a charging speed test with the iPhone 10, the iPhone 8 Plus, the OnePlus 5 and the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. Because 90% of the people who buy these phones are going to use the chargers from out of the box, those are the ones we're going to use for the test. But there's a difference. The Samsung one has a 10 watt output, the OnePlus one has a 20 watt output, and the two Apple chargers are stuck with a 5 watt output. What I've also done, just to make a really complete comparison though, is also try charging the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 8 Plus with one of the 29 watt recommended fast chargers. And I'll be showing you all of the results when we bring it all together at the end. With that being said, let's get right into it. Now when you plug the iPhones in, they automatically turn on, so what we're going to do to keep it fair is turn all the phones on and keep them on standby throughout this test. They're going to be on airplane mode though, so none of the connections are going to drain any extra battery. For those of you who didn't know, when you charge any type of battery, it'll start very quickly and it'll slow down as the juice starts to build up. And that's why after just 5 minutes, both iPhones are on 4%, the OnePlus 5 is all the way on 10%, and the Galaxy Note 8 is doing pretty well at 7%. Something to really keep an eye on here is the different capacities of the batteries. The iPhone 10 has got a marginally larger battery than the iPhone 8 Plus, and the Galaxy Note 8 and the OnePlus 5 are the joint largest by quite some margin. So theoretically speaking, they should take the longest, but of course the iPhones are more limited by the output of their chargers. But as I said, when we reach the end, I'll also show you the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 8 Plus's fast charging speeds, so that'll make for perhaps a bit of a fairer comparison. So far, the OnePlus 5 is demolishing the competition really. It is stormed ahead at 29%, and the Galaxy Note 8 is on 19%. Between the two iPhones, they almost seem to be trading blows every time you check. I would in theory expect the 8 Plus to fill up just a little bit faster, just because the battery capacity is that bit smaller, but I guess maybe we need a little bit more time for that trend to become clear. After 20 minutes, the Galaxy Note 8 shows no sign of closing the gap with the OnePlus 5. That is incredible. I mean, so far if you look at their charging rate, the OnePlus is going at about 50% faster than the Galaxy Note 8, which is in itself about 100% faster than both of those iPhones. On a bit of a side note, if by any chance you missed the battery gain test I posted yesterday, I'll leave a little link to it in the corner of this video, so once you're done with this, feel free to check that one out. So now we're just past the 30-minute mark, for which OnePlus actually promises a day's power in half an hour. And considering OnePlus 5 has managed to hit 58%, I'd say it's pretty much done that. It's also at the 35-minute mark, kind of embarrassing that OnePlus 5 in terms of battery percentage has gone 3 times faster than both of those iPhones. And not only that, but it's also got a larger battery, so 68% on the OnePlus 5 is going to be more than 68% on an iPhone, and when you also take into account how the battery percentages then to fill up very quickly, and then slow down, the iPhones aren't exactly sitting pretty here. Whilst it isn't exactly catching up, the Note 8 isn't falling too much further behind the OnePlus since earlier on. The difference between the two has been somewhat stagnant. And between the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 8 Plus, it's almost like an ongoing TV drama. Every time I check the phones, a different one has overtaken the other. Now that doesn't really mean anything funny at all is going on. All it means is that they're so closely tied because of course the charging technology is the same and the capacities are so similar that the difference is negligible. Having said that, we do get a bit of an interesting result towards the end when it comes to the iPhones. As the OnePlus is approaching the 100% mark, we're just going to keep checking it every few minutes. And what you will be able to tell is it's taking quite a bit of time to actually get that final 4%, which is not at all unusual. And if you've been keeping an eye on it, now the Note 8 really is catching up. The OnePlus 5 finally hits 100% at 1 hour and 24, which yes, when you consider it charged 10% in the first 5 minutes, is kind of slow, but relatively speaking, it's done very well. One of the benefits of the OnePlus 5's dash charge technology is it manages to offload all of the circuitry required for charging from the phone to the charger itself, which allows the phone to not only stay cool, but also allows a little bit more power to be packed in. Just before the 1 hour 40 mark, about 15 minutes after the OnePlus, the Samsung phone also finishes. So now it's just the two iPhones. And for this, we're just going to accelerate this test all the way till the end. You will notice the 8 Plus has a slight lead over the iPhone 10. That is definitely not a difference you would notice in day-to-day usage. After the 2 hour mark, we're at just under 80% on both phones. So nearly there. Or are we? Because to be honest, when I was charging these phones, I started to notice a bit of a problem. As you reach the upper 80s and the 90% mark, these phones start to slow to a crawl. It's taken about 13 minutes from the iPhone 10 to go from 86% to 89. So 3 percentage points in 13 minutes is slow. But believe it or not, it does actually get worse. Now my suspicion here, although it is normal for charging to somewhat slow down as you get close to 100%, is that Apple's done a little bit of tinkering. We observed in our battery drain test that with the iPhones, the battery seems to be falling very slowly to begin with, and then it's better toward the end. With the charging speed, it seems to be going up very quickly at the beginning, and then slowing down. So it's almost like Apple tries to inspire confidence in its products by making them look good to begin with, both in terms of battery drain and charging speed. Finally, the iPhone 10 does end up hitting 100%, and you'll notice that is about half an hour after the point we were at 96%. 30 minutes to make 4 percentage points of gain. Something doesn't seem quite right there. So just before we get on to the final results with all the fast charge readings in there too, don't forget to enter the giveaway by hitting the description below and seeing how to enter. Unfortunately, but almost as expected, we have the iPhone 10 with 3 hours and 6 minutes. We then have the iPhone 8 Plus, really not much better at 3 hours and 4 minutes, but the really interesting thing here is even when I fast charge both of those phones, they still end up in 3rd and 4th place. Even though they have these smaller capacities, fast charge just isn't enough to rescue them. The Note 8 then has 1 hour and 39, and the OnePlus 5 at the top with 1 hour and 24. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to check out the battery drain video and also enter the giveaway. I'm Steve the Boss, and I'll catch you in the next one.